What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Elfknight FF here, bringing you another Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Safeguard strategy video. Today we're going to cover the map Nuketown, and unlike the other videos I've posted so far in Safeguard, Nuketown only has really two phases on offense and defense. That's just beginning and ending, just because the middle, these two little freight areas right here, it's not really what I consider middle, just because it's really short, and it only takes maybe 30 to 40 seconds really to finish this map on Safeguard if you do it right. So in the beginning, as you see from these clips on offense, I like to either clear out the two cars on the right and left, just because a lot of people like to stay there and head glitch. So either you blow it up right from the beginning, at least wait for one guy to stay there, and after that you're going to want to have someone post there for as long as they can throughout the match, just so they can prevent other enemy players from getting in there and really holding on the robot in the beginning of the map at least. You want to really get that robot out of the house as quickly as possible, just because it allows more people to head glitch the main middle area, as you're going to see from the second clip as my brother's playing also. And aim down sight, you want to clear as many as possible. If you can finish all 6 enemy players at once, it's really good, because it allows you to get that push out of the main house. And then from there on, it's not really smooth sailing, but if you can get it past the main house, it allows you a little bit more open space, and it allows you to spread out more as a team and do whatever you guys like. Finally, this ending part is, of course it's going to be the most chaotic, just because they're going to spawn in the back, and it's going to take a couple lives at least to get the robot to that final area, especially once it enters the house or the garage, because a lot of enemies can camp every single corner. And in my opinion, at this point, strategy really goes out of the roof. It's basically who shoots better, who's got the best reaction time, and who understands, spawns and, what happens when everyone rushes the spawn system and stuff like that. But in my opinion, any type of gun is going to work fine for Safeguard on offense. I would go to SMG just because it's going to be close range. Shotguns are okay, but if you want to camp out for a little bit, the assault rifle is always good too. Okay, so for defense, it's very similar strategies I always do for defense. It's either, as you saw in the other guy, saw in the what you just did there, camp the opening to the house, or you flank around, clear out as many as possible, and it really help you get on your score streaks, just because score streaks are very useful in Nuketown at least. And if you can get to something that really does damage from the air, a Wraith, maybe the wraps aren't that good in my opinion for Nuketown, just because they're very easy to see, and in my opinion it's easy kills. But if you can get Wraiths, lightning storms, hellstorms, those are the best things to get in Nuketown. So in the beginning, with your first life, I would suggest rushing right, not left, because it takes too long. If you can rush right and clear the building and stay in that domain for a bit, it's really going to cause problems for your opponent's robot area, and they're going to be stuck in their spawn as long as you don't go far out like that. And when that happens, the robot will be stuck between the bus and the first house, which is a very good area for you guys, because it allows everyone else on the team to camp up and really get the head glitches down, which is very useful. In the second part, which is the most chaotic part in my opinion, first Safeguard is the defense. And when the robot is extremely close, there's going to be a lot of problems. You'll see later on, I'll show a clip of DBS playing. He dies 2 times in a row extremely quickly, just because one guy was staying in the corner of his house, and it allows everyone to pretty much set up if your teammates all die consecutively. So if you're playing by yourself, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a struggle. I suggest staying in the back for a bit and just watching the kill feeds, see when your team is up in a manpower, which allows you to break to the right or left and pretty much clear house. If you're playing with a team, it's a lot easier. You can organize. And here's a good spot right here. This is what I'm talking about, the second starting defensive spot, where my brother basically stays in his spawn or his half of the map, but he's head glitching the whole time because he's allowing his teammates to scatter forward and do damage while he maintains the thing. Those are the two styles of defense. You either cause havoc, or you just stay back and you pretty much play the objective by keeping an eye on the robot and preventing the robot to proceed. And when he does that, he likes to use FMJ, because he tells me it shoots through the robot and it hits the enemies. So if that works, it's actually a really good strategy, especially if you aim down the front doorway in the beginning of the game. Okay, so now this is the part where I was talking about earlier, the dying consecutive times, and then he finally gets him on the second death. And right now, because he's retaking the house, it's gonna allow him to first of all, he sees the robot in the garage, so he's basically gonna defend robot, and then every so often I would suggest going outside the house, do one lap, clear whoever's around, come back into a spot where you're safe, and pay attention to where your teammates are, because if they're spawning or all dying at the same time, do not leave the house, because you're gonna be very vulnerable. It's gonna be a 6-on-1, although it is possible. It's not something I suggest doing, especially when the robot is literally 5 seconds away from reaching this objective. So basically that's the strategies I've got for Nuketown. It is very chaotic, as you expect from every game mode. In offense, I would suggest getting that robot out quickly. Defense, keep that robot in as long as possible. It is a lot harder to play defense on Nuketown compared to every other map, just because it is a very small map. Thanks again for watching. Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Hope you guys are enjoying Black Ops 3. Don't know when this is coming up, but thanks for watching as always. Shoots!